Hello and welcome. You're watching the News at 6 with me, Ishan Russell. The News at 6 is all about the day's biggest developing stories, and we will be filling you in them over the next half hour. But first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. As the death toll in the Mathura clashes rises to 24, UP Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav admits to serious lapses, questions also over how the offending sect was allowed to accumulate arms. In Tunisia, Vice President Ansari underlines need to eradicate global terrorism, says it can be achieved only by organized international action. Heat over allegations of use of money power in Rajya Sabha elections. Election Commission seeks report from the Karnataka CEO on the matter. And at least 12 people killed as floods wreak havoc in France and Germany. Thousands evacuated as many more remain without power. Our top story this evening, the death toll in Thursday's violence during an anti-encroachment drive in Mathura has climbed to 24. Those killed, they include the city SP and an SHO. More than 300 people have been arrested, while the hunt is on for another 200, including the head of the sect that targeted the policeman. The Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister has admitted to lapses in the operation, even as there are now questions as to how the sect accumulated the huge tranche of weapons without causing any suspicion. And let's go across to Mathura, from where we have our correspondent Ravindra Sharan joining us. Ravindra, what's the update and what's the situation over there right now? The fact that an SP and an SHO have lost their lives and there are about 200 people on the run. Take us through what's happening right now.
Yeah, Ishan, right now the police has taken over the charge of this whole area, Jawahar Bagh, which basically belongs to the horticulture department of the Uttar Pradesh government. And now the police is sensitizing the area. This is not beyond the bound for, this is not bound people. The normal people are not allowed to go there. The media is also not allowed to go there. The police is on the search. The operation is going on. And the investigation agencies has also been put up in the place, and the investigation is on. The police has also registered cases, and more than 300 people has already been arrested on different charges. Also, the important development which unfolded in the last night, which we have seen when the police team, which was led by the local SP Mukund Dwivedi, has gone to the place, and they were basically went. This is as per the claims of the DGP that the police team went there only for the recce of the area. They did not go there to vacate the area, and they did not ask the people gathered there headed by Ram Vriksh Yadav, who was so-called the Satyagrahi's leader and was a follower of Subhash Chandra Bose and Jai Baba Gurudev. The police is claiming that they only went there to request them and to see what kind of arms and ammunition they were holding on in their so-called ashram. Later, what has transpired and what has happened is still not, the police is not coming up with a theory so far that why the violence has erupted and what happened, that the police has to open the fire, and which claimed the lives of 24 people, which includes 2 decorated officers, 2 brave officers, which one of the SP and one SHO was also killed. 22 people, which has one lady was also killed in this area, in this operation. But right now, the police is doing its investigation. Ram Vriksh Yadav, who was camping here in this Jawahar Bagh area of Mathura, he was claiming he was here with some quixotic and impractical plan. He was saying that he don't believe in the government of the day. He don't believe in the president, vice president, the prime minister, Supreme Court and High Court. He has no belief. He is saying that as per the real Constitution of India, the real ruler of this country was Subhash Chandra Bose, and the currency which has been introduced by the Azad Hind Fauj should be reinforced, and whatever is going on today is totally illegal. And he was here to so-called give the right access to the dreams which was seen by Subhash Chandra Bose, and he has this kind of quixotic and impractical ideas.
All right, but Ravindra, do tell us, because over here in the national capital, there is a war of words that's going on between the UP government and the centre as well. While on one hand, they're saying that they will be in it together and will resolve the matter. There are allegations and counter-allegations at the ground zero as far as the politics around this is concerned, because we in our country often see this happening. Whenever such an incident happens, politics takes over. Is that happening on the ground right now, or is the police and the local administration keeping everybody out? All right, we seem to have lost that audio link with Ravindra, but we'll be trying to get back to him. Meanwhile, we'll update you on the developments that happened as far as this story are concerned through the day.
At least 24 people have been killed and over 100 injured in Mathura during clashes between police and encroachers as a drive to evict illegal occupants from government land took a violent turn. Clashes broke out on Thursday when police tried to evict the members of a sect who had been occupying a park for 2 years. Among those killed in the firing were an SHO and a superintendent of police. The police has recovered a sachet of arms and spent bullets from AK-47 rifles and arrested over 320 people in connection with the incident. Hunt is on for the leader of the sect, Ramvraksh Yadav, and the security officer of the group.
कुल मिलाकर 22 उपद्रवी जान गंवा चुके हैं, जिनमें से 11 आग में झुलसकर मरे हैं। वो आग जो उन्होंने खुद लगाई थी। जो लोग गिरफ्तार हुए हैं उनके विरुद्ध NSA लगाने के लिए कार्रवाई की जाएगी। विशेष रूप से ऐसे लोग जो इस पूरे जो इलीगल एक्टिविटी थी और अराजक तत्व थे और पूरा अराजकता फैलाना चाह रहे थे।
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav has ordered an inquiry into the incident and announced an ex gratia of 20 lakh rupees to the family of the deceased policeman.
जो घटना हुई उसकी जांच भी हालांकि कमिश्नर स्तर पे जांच की जाएगी और जो दोषी हैं उनके खिलाफ कानून के अंदर कार्रवाई होगी। चूक भी है और मैं समझता हूं पुलिस को पूरी बातचीत और तैयारी के साथ उनसे बातचीत भी करनी थी और पुलिस पूरी तैयारी के साथ वहां जाना चाहिए था, लेकिन जानकारी में नहीं था कि इतना कुछ उनके पास होगा।
Meanwhile, the Home Ministry has said there was lapse on the part of the Uttar Pradesh government. The centre has also sought a report from the state government.
मथुरा की जो घटना है और वरिष्ठ पुलिस अधिकारी मारे जाना, ये बहुत बड़ा एक चूक हुआ है और राज्य सरकार को देखना चाहिए।
As police work to contain the situation continues, political parties have called for a judicial probe into the matter.
There is a complete lawlessness in Uttar Pradesh. The constitutional machinery has broken down. Bahin Mayawati ji has been demanding that there should be an imposition of the president's rule in UP.
जानबूझकर पुलिस अधिकारियों को मरवाया है, इसके पीछे षड्यंत्र है। पहले जमीन पर कब्जा कराओ और फिर अपने जो प्यादे हैं, जो गुर्गे हैं, उनसे पुलिस पर गोली चलवाओ। तो इसकी जानकारी पूरी तरह से अखिलेश सरकार को थी।
People who have publicly occupied government land are punished, murderers are brought to book, and government of Akhilesh Yadav, Sappa government, which is found sleeping, it wakes up from its slumber and take decisive action.
जबरन भूमि हड़पने जैसी घटनाओं में संलिग्न लोग इस तरह से पुलिस और प्रशासन के साथ पेश आएंगे, ये मेरी उम्मीद से बाहर की चीज़ थी। मैं चाहता हूं कि दोषियों के खिलाफ सख्त कार्रवाई हो।
Over 2 years ago, nearly 3,000 people had illegally set up camp on an over 260-acre plot in Jawahar Bagh on the pretext of a dharna. The Allahabad High Court recently ordered their eviction. Ravindra Shoran's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Moving on now, before winding up his two-nation tour to Morocco and Tunisia, Vice President Mohammed Hamid Ansari called for the need to eradicate global terrorism. In his address at the Tunisian Institute of Strategic Studies, the Vice President also said that India is making relentless efforts to contribute to the development of an equitable and sustainable future of the world.
On the last day of his two-nation visit, Vice President Mohammed Hamid Ansari addressed the Tunisian Institute of Strategic Studies in capital Tunis. Flagging terrorism as an area of common concern, Vice President Ansari said that global terrorism has emerged as a threat to pluralist and open societies, which can only be defeated by organized international action.
Terrorism today has global reach. No city, remains safe. There is a new level of threat to pluralist and open societies. Our structures, the old structures of terrorism also remain. There are countries that still use it as an instrument of state policy. There can be no distinction between good and bad terrorists. A terrorist is a terrorist. One who commits crime against humanity cannot have any religion or be afforded any political sanctuary.
Hailing bilateral ties between India and Tunisia, the Vice President said both countries have a similar approach on many issues. He expressed hopes of a prosperous and peaceful future with deepening commercial and political interactions. The Vice President also said that India has a vital stake in the stability, security and economic well-being of West Asia and North African region and was willing to expand its strategic and economic partnership.
Our bilateral trade with the region in the year 2014-15 was about $49.58 billion and is expected to grow further despite the economic downturn. We also look to this region for ensuring our energy security and for commodities like phosphates. This region, with its young population and natural resources, has tremendous growth potential. It can act as a bridge between three continents of Asia, Africa and Europe.
On Thursday, India and Tunisia signed 2 MOUs on the promotion of handicrafts and information technology after Vice President Ansari and Tunisian Prime Minister held one-on-one talks. A decision to train 350 Tunisian students in the next 5 years in India was also taken. Before heading into the talks, the Vice President also visited the Zaytuna Mosque, the Bardo Museum and the House of Representatives. Vishal Jain and Anu Diwan's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
The controversy over allegations of money power playing a role in the Rajya Sabha elections in Karnataka refuses to die down. The Election Commission has asked the state's Chief Electoral Officer for a report on the matter. The controversy arose after a sting operation conducted by 2 private TV channels. The BJP approached the Election Commission on the matter, while a JDS leader sought the cancellation of the polls for RS seats in the state.
A sting operation conducted by 2 television channels on Thursday has set off a political storm in Karnataka. Several legislators were caught on camera talking about money power playing a role in elections to the Rajya Sabha. While the BJP has approached the Election Commission on the issue, a JDS leader has sought cancellation of polls for 4 Rajya Sabha seats in the state.
It's very unfortunate. It's a blot on the democracy, and an institution like Rajya Sabha. Personally, I don't feel that such type of candidates should enter the Rajya Sabha. I am going to talk to my party leadership today itself.
Congress, which is heading the government in Karnataka, has sought to maintain safe distance from the developments, terming them as unfortunate.
None of the Congress leaders are involved. See, no doubt, I am looking at the keeping my flock together. I am also a part of the system with a lot of friends. But as far as JDS is concerned or other concerned, even the other Congress MLAs who have spoken various issues, they have looked at the common scenario of the constituencies of the independent MLAs. Apart from that, none of them have been involved in any financial transactions. Either we have been involved in any financial transactions.
Elections are slated for 4 Rajya Sabha seats from the state on 11th of June. With 45 first preference votes needed to win, the state is witnessing a tough contest for these seats. While JDS, which has 40 MLAs in the assembly, needs 5 more votes for its nominee BM Farooq, the ruling Congress, which has 123 MLAs, needs at least 12 votes for its third candidate. Both sides are banking on the support of more than a dozen independent MLAs in the state assembly, and this has sparked the controversy. Vishal Dahiya, Rajya Sabha TV, Delhi.
The Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar will hold crucial meetings with his counterparts from France and the US on the sidelines of the Shangri-La dialogue in Singapore tomorrow. In his meetings with the French Defence Minister, Parrikar will review the progress of negotiations for the direct purchase of 36 Rafale fighter jets. Parikar is also expected to finalize the logistics support MOU in his meeting with US Defense Secretary Ashton Carter. Parikar is also scheduled to address the Shangri-La Dialogue Security Summit on the 4th of June and will be meeting foreign ministers from Singapore, Canada, Japan and Switzerland on the sidelines of the summit. The defense minister will then head to Vietnam on a two-day visit to hold bilateral talks with the country's leadership. Now, even as speculations fly thick and fast about the fate of Maharashtra Revenue Minister Eknath Khadse, BJP State Unit President Rao Sahib Danve has ruled out any party action against him till the charges are proved. Terming allegations against Khadse as political, Danve said that the party had adopted a cautious approach towards them as it believed there was no substance in them. Hinting that the party stood behind the state minister, Danve also said that there was no pressure from the party high command to remove him. Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis had submitted a report on Khadse to BJP Chief Amit Shah in Delhi on Thursday. Khadse had come under a cloud of a host of allegations, including irregularities in a land deal in Pune and calls he allegedly received from fugitive underworld don Dawood Ibrahim. He denies both charges. Time for us to take a short break. Lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
In 1994, Government of India legislated brain death. When your brain stem is dead, you're gone, no matter what happens to other organs. Till today, from October 2008, we managed around 780 brain dead victims donating their organs.
Watch Eureka with Dr. J. Amalor Pavanathan, Director, Institute of Vascular Surgery, Madras Medical College, only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Some international news now. And the flood situation in France and Germany remains grim, with more rains expected in the coming days. French capital Paris has been put on a high flood alert as water levels continue to rise in the River Seine, reaching its highest level in over 30 years. Several towns in southern Germany too have been devastated by floods. The death toll reached 10 in the country. Thousands of people have been evacuated and thousands more remain without power.
Flash floods due to overflowing rivers continue to bring misery to parts of Germany and France. In Paris, the River Seine is at flood level and has burst its banks at several places. The water is expected to rise and reach 6 meters above its normal level. Days of torrential rains has claimed several lives and forced thousands to evacuate their homes. The French army has joined in the rescue mission in the worst affected areas where a state of emergency has been declared.
On voit que c'est les drames que ça provoque partout, donc je voudrais aussi exprimer ma solidarité avec toutes les victimes, saluer l'effort considérable de tous les services publics et les bénévoles, mais en ce qui nous concerne, protection des personnes, c'est la priorité évidemment, mais s'agissant du fonctionnement de l'État, toutes les précautions sont prises, des systèmes de substitution sont en place.
The threatening rise in the water levels has forced the world-famous Louvre and Ossuary museums to shut down and move priceless artworks to safety.
We were planning to visit the Louvre Museum, but unfortunately, when we came here, we saw it's closed. We didn't know that, and tomorrow we are going to leave, so we cannot visit.
In Germany too, the floods have created havoc with the death toll reaching double figures and several people still missing. German towns on the Austrian border suffered badly as water came rushing through the streets.
Wir trauern die Menschen, für die Hilfe zu spät kam und die in den Fluten ihr Leben verloren haben. Und natürlich bin ich in Gedanken bei ihren Familien, die mit diesem Verlust fertig werden müssen.
Belgium, Austria, the Netherlands and Poland have also been affected by the heavy rains, and with more rain forecast in the coming days, the situation is likely to get worse. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the Indian-American gunman Mainak Sarkar, who shot dead his former college professor at the University of California, Los Angeles, had also killed his wife before taking his own life. Police said that a kill list was found from Sarkar's home in Minnesota, and both the victims were on the list. The list also contained the name of another UCLA professor who was unharmed. On Thursday, students and faculty members of the university held a candlelit vigil to mourn the death of the deceased professor. On Wednesday, 38-year-old Sarkar shot dead engineering professor William Klug before killing himself in an attack that prompted a 2-hour lockdown of the UCLA campus. The attack appeared to have been provoked by Sarkar's belief that Klug has stolen his computer code.
In the search of Sarkar's residence in Minneapolis, a list was located that had Professor Klug's name on it, another UCLA's professor's name on it, and the name of the female victim that was later located in the nearby town. That list has been described as a kill list. That was the wording that was put on it.
Some international news now on Global Buzz. France is hosting foreign ministers from major powers to put Israel-Palestinian peacemaking back on the international agenda. The meeting aims to find enough common ground to bring the two sides back to the table by the end of the year. The gathering of ministers in Paris includes a Middle East quartet, which comprises the US, Russia, EU and the UN, as well as the Arab League, the UN Security Council, and about 20 countries. Turkey has recalled its envoy to Germany in protest against German MPs declaring the 1915 massacre of Armenians during World War I as genocide. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said that the resolution would seriously affect his country's ties with Germany. He also rejected the idea that the killings of Christian Armenians during World War I amounted to genocide. Iraqi government forces backed by Shiite militia advanced into the outskirts of Fallujah on Thursday in an attempt to recapture the city from Islamic State militants. The Iraqi government has vowed to win back the first major Iraqi city that fell to the Islamic State in 2014. Fallujah has been the bastion of the Sunni insurgency that fought both the US occupation of Iraq and the Shiite-led Baghdad movement. Protesters and supporters of Donald Trump clashed in the streets of San Jose in California Thursday night after the Republican held a rally. Hundreds of protesters waved Mexican flags, chanted anti-Trump slogans and burned Trump hats. The San Jose Police Department said that they made a few arrests after the rally but did not provide any specifics. China is facing a flood threat due to continuous rains in the southern part of the country. Heavy rainfall since the beginning of this year's rainy season has impacted various rivers across China. Water levels in 23 rivers and lakes have surpassed their warning marks. Analysts believe one of the largest 5 freshwater lakes in China will record a highest water level this year. Time now for all the sports action in Sports Beat. The Indo-Swiss pair of Leander Paes and Martina Hingis will take on Sania Mirza and Ivan Dodig in the mixed doubles final of the French Open today. Both Mirza and Paes were forced to play 2 matches yesterday due to a cramped schedule at Roland Garros. In the men's singles semi-final, Djokovic will take on Dominic Thiem, while Stan Wawrinka will meet Andy Murray. In the women's singles, Serena Williams will play Kiki Bertens and Gabriel Muguruza will face Samantha Stosur in the semi-finals. Kuwait's chances of competing in the Rio Games were dealt a severe blow after the International Olympic Committee said a ban imposed last year was unlikely to be lifted in time. However, Kuwait's athletes would not be banned from the Games starting on the 5th of August, but would compete as independent athletes under the Olympic flag. FIFA's Ethics Committee has said that there are no formal proceedings against newly elected President Gianni Infantino. The Ethics Committee was forced to issue a statement after a German newspaper reported that Infantino was facing a provisional ban for unethical conduct. The newspaper further claimed it had seen emails suggesting that Infantino had ordered senior FIFA officials to delete recordings of a controversial meeting of the FIFA Council. Argentina and Belgium continue to hold the top 2 spots in the latest FIFA rankings, with Colombia rounding up the top 3. World champions Germany are 4th in the table, while European Championship holders Spain are now 6th. India have fallen down another spot to 163, while England have been replaced in the top 10 by Austria. World silver medalist Justin Gatlin won the 100 meters in the non-diamond league race by edging fellow American Amir Webb. Gatlin won in 9.93 seconds ahead of Webb and European record holder Jimmy Vicor of France. However, the time was slower than the meet record of 9.75 seconds set last year. That's all from us. Goodbye.